Alrighty. This is my little journal slash coloring book slash The Great Work by Daniel Dylan Martins. When I say the great work, I literally just mean any work, knowledge going towards the great truth, the greater mysteries, esoteric, occult, whatever you want to call it. It's anything that will help us, majority of people, learn about thyself and escape the ties that bind us down from the elite that run the world. And it starts with each individual self. Anyway, so quick little overview. Go page by page over here real quick. I am going to explain the Tree of Life and what they stand for. This is the Kabbalah, basically. Then I'll be talking about the Egg of Life, Seed of Life, Tripod. We have Unity, Duality concept, the Vesica Pisces, 1, 2, 3. Then we have the Flower of Life, my little attempt at the Flower of Life. Do the Tree of Life again, the Kabbalah again. I basically break down each Sephiroth like this, and I go into each one on a very basic level. Nothing too esoteric. It's more of an overview. This is the syncretic cell salt chart, my little attempt at it. Again, I'm not an artiste, but again, this is just my attempt. This is my attempt at it. So, we have the Fibonacci sequence over here. I will get to this. This is very interesting right here. Yeah, I'm not done with a lot of this, but this is just the electromagnetic toroidal fields. The toroidal field that we have over our heart. And it basically is the world. We're trapped in a toroidal field. I tried drawing a fruit of life over here, but I made my Sephiroths too big. So I just said, what can I do? I don't want to erase this, so I just turned them into yin-yangs. And I explained the yin and the yang. This is the fruit of life. That's how it's supposed to look. That's how this was supposed to look. Then I have, this is my little matrix of power chart. At the very top, I have the royal families, the Zionistic families, the Vatican, and the Holy Roman Empire. They are at the top of this matrix world we live in. They're at the very top. They're the elite that run the world through sick, sadistic rituals. And they're basically like the demigods of our current model that we live in. And they claim to have royal blood, and they claim to be descendant, have a higher blood type, blood power in their blood, basically. The right to rule. The blue bloods, the Rh negative blood type, supposedly. That's like your Benny Benarsis and your Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Henry Kissinger. List goes on. After them, you have secret societies in blue, central banks, like the central bank in Switzerland, and all the banks are connected from there. After that, in purple, you have the government, court, legal systems, the law enforcement, education, and the big one is the sheep, zombies, slaves, awakened and unawakened people, and the slaves that will fight to protect their slave masters without even knowing that they're slaves, like most people. This is a tesseract. Had fun drawing this. Basically, fruit of life. Connect all the dots. You get two cubes. Cube within a cube. These are some of the platonic solids. Sphere. Tetrahedron, which is fire. Hexahedron, which is earth. Octahedron, which is air. Icosahedron, which is water. And in the back, my little attempt at a dodecahedron. not the easiest to draw. Get more coloring, This is my little weak attempt at the world tree. This is what the Nordics. This is what the Nordics drew. Yep. This is I don't even know what I was drawing here. Like little mandala. And mandalas are the man split. That's what it means. But mandalas are also flat Earth. Flat Earth attempts. The mandala. That's what the mandala is. In the very center would be Agartha, Eden, Mount Meru, Mount Moriah, Mount Sumeru. That gets us into the flat Earth. This is my attempt of a flat Earth structure. The white ring would be the Antarctic disk, the outer disk. In the center, that's the North Pole, Eden, Agartha. The magnetic pole, the magnetic mountain, going towards Polaris, the eye in the sky. Here's your sun, your moon. Outside of the dome, the firmament, is ether, which is the heaven realms. About 1,800 feet, I think. Oh man, I forgot. I forget the measurement, but I think it's 1,800, yeah. Once you go down there, it's another firmament which physical bodies cannot go through. Miners will tell you they cannot dig deep enough. Even with diamond-tipped drills, they can't get through. Past there, you have the underworld realms. And that's pretty much what I drew over here. So, if I go back to the beginning, I will explain the Tree of Life. This is the Kabbalah right here. At the very top, now this Tree of Life right here, to me, this is the third main sacred geometrical body. First, I start with the seed of life. All right. Then would be the flower of life. Third would be the tree of life. And then fourth would be the fruit of life. And within the fruit, when you go inside the fruit, you get back to the seed. Because fruits have seeds. Plant them, you get a flower. Flowers grow into trees. Trees have fruits. Fruits, cut it open, you get the seed. That's the way I see it. Anyway, and they go in order like that. They really do. But at the very top of the Tree of Life, you have Kether. Kether is the first Sephiroth to emanate from the infinite God. It's called the crown. Of course, it's related to number 1. It represents the will, the initial desire to create. It's the primal source of all creative activity, closely related to the infinite. It's the will of God, the will of you. Again, the Tree of Life can be compared to heaven, earth. Your will taking into action. It could be the upper worlds, lower worlds. It could be many things, actually. In this case, I'm just going to basically give you an overview. So that's what Keter is. Keter is, number 1, the crown. The will, basically. Unifying an undivided will. Next, you go this way. Boom. This is Shokma, or Chochma. Excuse my Hebrew accent. That's your second Sephiroth to emanate from the infinite. It's called wisdom. Related to number 2. Represents the first creative activity to appear. It's the beginning, the seed, the intuitive flash, the original germ of an idea. The potential reality whose details have yet to be fully developed. The first flash of insight. Wisdom is the idea to create which emanated from Keter, the crown. Chokmah is also, could be the zodiac, the sun, and that would be, Keter would be the father, supreme crown, going to the sun, and then you go to Holy Spirit. which is Binah. Binah is the first divine feminine. And Binah is the third Sephiroth. It's called understanding. It represents the development, gestation, and unfolding of the conceptual details implicit in the ideas originating in Chokmah. It's called understanding because it is here that the germ of the idea is gestated and expanded upon. Keter, the will, is desire to create. Wisdom is the idea to create. Binah is the process of analyzing how to go about creating. Let me get to number 4. Well, Dath. Dath is not so much considered a Sephiroth, but it's in the middle. I'll explain it. Dath is knowledge, okay? After Binah, you go straight to Kesed. All right? Kesed is Chesed, Kesed, whatever you want to call it. But Dath is skipped, but it still is very important because it represents knowledge. It's not numbered as a Sephiroth. Dath is not an emanation, but an action performed by uniting of the two Sephiroth. So wisdom plus understanding equals knowledge. The Hebrew word dath has the connotation of intimate coupling, as in Adam knew Eve and she bore a son. This word gives insight to deeper meaning of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Knowledge is the union of wisdom, which is Chokmah, and understanding, Binah, and it is precisely this union that gives birth to the emotions. So it's a union between Chokmah and Binah. Over here you have the first triad. The first triad, which is Keter, Chokmah, Binah, with Dath just chilling in the bottom. Dath. All right, intellectual faculties. This process develops an idea which comes from the will. This is how the idea is formed, this triad right here. The will to create emanates into insight. Idea becomes analyzed and created upon. And finally, through contemplation, the idea will become emotionally invested in. Knowledge gained through the union of wisdom and understanding awakens the emotions. Next, you have Kesed. Go back here. Kesed is mercy. It's the atmic body. Jupiter. L. Kesed is mercy, or loving kindness, related to number 4. Kesed is the loving kindness and benevolent grace. It is unconditional, giving unlimited kindness and total altruism. Free, unrestrained, active expression of large, regardless of the merits of the recipient. Kesed is related to giving, the first attribute to the primary emotions. Primary emotions are the morals, ethics, and emotion qualities that influence the creative process. Giving related to the right arm and 10 fingers. Next on the list is Geburah. Gevura or Gebura, which is severity, strength, related to number 5. Represents severity, but also carries connotation of judgment, force, might, and law, opposite of Kesed. All right, so Kesed would be mercy. Gevurah would be severity. This is where it kind of gets, Geburah could get kind of ugly. Judgment, force, might, law. It's the total opposite of Kesed. Geburah is a restraint and restriction, limiting the free-flowing grace of Kesed. If Kesed or Geburah were in perpetual conflict, or if one was totally dominant, then creation could not endure, and its potential would remain unrealized. Gevura is the primary emotion,